Okay, so I have a mission here. I want to change the balance of some of these things. Right? I want Vietnam to export more than we import. Then maybe one day everybody's income rise. As a country, our standard of living rises. Right? And I think that's a really good cause. It's a good reason to be here today.
Hey Tom, it's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. First I want to say congratulations on your YouTube channel. Everybody needs to follow your YouTube channel. So what everyone needs to do is subscribe to Tom Pang. Great guy, great person. Tom, keep up the great work.
Hello everybody. Welcome to Media Step Software. Appreciate coming you this early in the morning so that we can share and discuss and collaborate on Vietnamese export. My name is Tom Pang. I'm the CEO of Media Step. How many people already export here?
Ở đây có bao nhiêu anh chị đã làm xuất khẩu rồi ạ?
How many businesses already export here? Nobody? Oh, sorry, wrong audience. Let's go.
Xin lỗi, sai định hướng rồi.
Right, or planning to export. 1, 2, planning to export. Okay.
Có dự định làm
So you're thinking about export, right? You're thinking about how to sell your products internationally to more countries. Okay, so here is a nice graph that tells the story of a challenging year in 2023. So if you already export or you're thinking about export, you might know that in the last 7 months or 8 months, export in Vietnam is challenging. So comparing the first 7 months of 2023 against 2022, we saw a 10% drop in export from Vietnam. And there are many reasons for that. We'll get into it. But first, I want you to consider, which country do you think we export the most to? Anybody?
China.
China. Okay. Interesting. Let's show the data. All right. In the first 7 months of 2023, the number one country we export to is the United States of America. Right. So we export $52.7 billion to the US. We import only 8.1. There's a big trade surplus there. The second country that we export to the most is China, 31.6 billion. But we import from China 58.6. Yeah, China's taking away our money, right? Actually, not exactly our money, basically our foreign reserves. And in the third place, it's the European Union, EU. We export to about 25 billion. We import 8.6. They help us increase our foreign reserve. And following that, we consider Asian as a region. That's like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines. We export 18.6 billion, but we import 23.6. That's an interesting factor. We actually import more from our neighbors than we export. And after Asian, then it's Korea. We export 13 billion, we import 28. And then following that, 13 billion to Japan, but we import 12.1. Okay, so I have a mission here. I want to change the balance of some of these things. Right? I want Vietnam to export more than we import. Then maybe one day everybody's income rise. As a country, our standard of living rises. Right? And I think that's a really good cause. It's a good reason to be here today. So I want us to consider, what do we export the most from Vietnam? Anybody? Like, what's the category of products we export the most? Rice. Oh yeah, rice is a big export item.
Rồi,
Anybody
lúa
else?
gạo là một mặt hàng xuất khẩu rất lớn. Còn ai có ý kiến khác không ạ?
Coffee. Yes, coffee. We have a lot of coffee growers and we definitely export a lot of coffee. Anybody else? Footwear. Somebody said footwear, right? Yes, we also make a lot of footwear and textile. Interesting fact, we have a customer that grow rice. Some months ago, they through Alibaba, they closed the deal. It was about $1 million. So there's actually some really cool success stories that we will share with you later. We have many stories like that. Just in the last month, there's a furniture manufacturer in Bình Dương, right? They just signed with us and then they just joined Alibaba for less than like 2 months, just 1 month. And they had a deal with a foreign buyer for 11T. 11T, that's about $500,000. And they manufacture furniture. All right. So we're going to talk about why this in the last 7 months, in the first 7 months of 2023, why it was such a challenge. But before we get to that, let's look at the list of categories, product categories that we export the most. So top one is computers, electrical products. Basically, your computers, your mobile phone, thanks to LG, thanks to Samsung. Right? They put factories here. They make the Samsung Galaxy Ultra 23,
Và nhờ
S23, right? And export that across the world, and that gives us the top category there. And actually, the second one is related. It's like telephones and mobile phones. And after that, it is the machines, the equipment. Vietnam actually makes a lot of the machineries, the tools that are in factories. We make the machines that make the products. And the next category is textile and garments. This is a huge category. So Miss Nok and I, we go visit our customers, and one of them, they have this massive, how many factories do they have? They have 4 factories. And they have, each one of those factories are massive. They employ 3,000 people, and they make garment. They make uniforms, and they export to Japan, to Korea, to the US, to the EU. Right? Just signed with us. How long ago? 1 month ago. Okay. And is it 1 year, 2 year? Oh, it's 2 year verified. So they went with the highest package. Yeah, because they're ambitious. They want to dominate, and they will be. After textile and garments, it's footwear. We make a lot of running shoes. We make a lot of Nikes, Adidas. They make them here. And after that, we'll skip a couple. And after that, wood and wood products like furniture. There are probably thousands of furniture factories in Bình Dương, right? And they all want to export to the US, to Europe. And after that, iron and steel. I visited all of these factories in the past. And we have a lot of steel manufacturers in different areas, in Haiphong, in Vũng Tàu. They export, and their annual revenue is in the billions of dollars. And then after that, we have what? Fishery products. So it's the shrimp, the tom, the fish, right? The fishery products that we export a lot to Asian countries, right? And after that, we have fruits and vegetables, and we have coffee, and then we have rice. So what I can say is that in Vietnam, we basically export everything. And in fact, it's only going to get even more diversified as more factories are set up in Vietnam, and we're going to make products of every category and export across the world. We're going to be the manufacturing hub of the world. That's why I'm so excited about this. Right? Remember the graph we showed earlier with the countries? That what we do here, what you do here could change that balance of trade. Okay, so let's talk about why 2023 was so challenging. Remember COVID? Everybody was wearing masks. Nobody wear masks anymore. But when COVID was happening, all the businesses in the US, in Europe, they were all like freaking out. They were so terrified that they cannot get enough products. So what they do is they order a lot. So they order more than they need. And remember back in early 2020, 2021, freight was so expensive. If you ship internationally, freight was so expensive. Partly because of COVID, partly because all these companies are over-ordering. So Walmart in the US, they have excess inventory. Their warehouse is completely full. And then what happened? COVID over, everybody celebrate. And this guy Putin decided to start a war. Remember that? It's not over yet. We don't talk about it anymore. No. But it's still not over. So when that happened, energy price goes up. And then we have inflation. Europe, US, they're all struggling with inflation. Cost of products, cost of everything's going up. And slows economic activity. Right. When inflation is high, people stop buying. So you have high inventory in the US, in Europe, and then people stop buying, so the economy slows. And they stop ordering from factories in Vietnam and also in China. So that's why in the first 7 months of 2023, we're all struggling. But we have some good news here. I'm here to actually deliver some good news. So we're seeing the numbers starting to improve from August and September. We are seeing a rise in the export, partly because of normalization of the US inventory levels. So companies like Walmart, they do a really strong effort in destocking their inventory. They do that by slashing prices, make product cheaper, people buy more, and finally it's getting back to a more normal level. And they start buying again. So another good news, there's a lot of FDI coming into Vietnam, foreign directed investment. A lot of foreign companies are putting their money in Vietnam to build factories. If you try to buy industrial land or lease industrial land in Bình Nhưỡng, in Da Nang, you know this. Price is going up and it's highly competitive because all these foreign manufacturers, they're coming here to set up factory. But they're not finished yet. So all this capacity is not available right now, but in the next 2 or 3 years, they will come online. And this is great news because that means we have more capacity to build more things here in Vietnam. One of the reasons why FDI is coming here, international manufacturers are coming here, is China plus one strategy. International manufacturers, they used to be in China. And you know there's China-US trade war. It's getting expensive to do business in China. If you sell international, you have to pay a lot of taxes to the foreign countries. So the policies in China is not very favorable to international business, which encourages international manufacturers to come to Vietnam even more so. So they're not leaving China, but they're finding another country to set up their factory. That's why it's called China plus one strategy. So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. You know, recently I bought a new car. It's the Wuling. Anybody heard of that one? It's a very cute car. It's very small. It used to be made in China. They want to export this car across the world, but it's not good to export from China because of tariffs. So what do? They set up factory here in Vietnam, and then they sell here domestically, and in the future they want to export. I was very lucky. I was the first one to get it in Ho Chi Minh, and it's pink. I love that car, by the way. I love that car because it's made in Vietnam. And the secret here is, let me reveal a secret. More and more, many auto manufacturers are coming to Vietnam from China. I think it's going to be very exciting in the automotive industry here in Vietnam because a lot of new brands are going to come in, and they're all going to come in from China, but they're going to make the cars here. And I think that's very exciting and very good for Vietnam. The US president visited Vietnam when? August? September? Anybody remember? Nobody remember. August, right? So Biden was in Vietnam in August. And why did he come here? Anybody know? Why did he come here? Because he liked pho? Maybe traveling. Yeah, like go to Ha Long Bay, right?
Kiểu đi du lịch qua Hạ Long Bay.
Well, Biden came here to sign the comprehensive strategic partnership to expand the relationship between Vietnam and the US. One, to encourage US and Vietnam to do more business. And two, make Vietnam a closer friend of US so we can fight China. It's true. Right? That's why he's here. All those reasons are great for Vietnam. All those reasons are great for Vietnamese export. So when Biden stayed in Hanoi, he stayed at the JW Marriott in Hanoi. He stayed in the presidential suite, okay? And after he left, I was the next guest. I stayed in his room.
Tôi ở trong căn phòng của ông ấy.
True story. So I was like looking around, did he leave anything behind? Actually, he did.
Và đúng là ông ấy có bỏ sót.
You know, I can tell you something, okay? So when the US president stayed in the hotel room, they don't trust anything. You know, the TV remote, they even changed that. You know, when you go to a hotel, there's a TV, you have the remote, right? They don't use the remote from the hotel. They use their own remote. And they left one of the remote in the room. And I found that. I was looking at the remote. It says it's like property of White House. Cool.
Ngầu ghê.
Right? Okay. So, but the US considers Vietnam an ally, and that's wonderful. So the long-term outlook for Vietnamese export is excellent. Right? Maybe the first 7 months is shit.
Có thể là 7 tháng đầu năm của mình như cức thật.
Cook, right? But the future is great. So why? Because we have a government that's committed to economic reform. A government that's committed to stamping out, stopping corruption. You know, we have a company driver. Recently, he got stopped for speeding. He was taking one of our salespeople to go somewhere. I think Dak Nam or something.
Huh?
And then he was driving like 200 kilometers an hour. He's a race driver. And then the police stopped him. And then he tried to give him coffee money. Police said no. Paperwork. True story.
Đây là chuyện có
I'm like, what? Really? That's an improvement. Good for Vietnam. I'll pay the ticket. We actually got a ticket, right? So, I probably should not say that in front of the camera, but true story. There's a commitment to stand up corruption. And our currency is stable. If you look at our neighboring countries, their currency is like this. But Vietnam is committed to keep our currency stable, so it's favorable to business to import and export. And because of those policies, more FDI is coming into Vietnam. They come here to build out more factories. And Vietnam is politically stable, which is something that international investors look at. We also have an expanding middle class. More and more people have money. And more money means they will spend more. So not only are we making products for the international market, we are also making products for the domestic market. And Vietnamese consumers, their standards are getting higher and higher. They want more higher quality products. And our population is young, which is also another factor for economic growth. International investors want to go into an economy where there's an expanding working force. They're looking for a talented workforce, and we have that here in Vietnam. So, of course, China and US are going to continue to be enemies. If you watch the news, you know that it's not getting any better. That's great, because there's a Chinese proverb that says when the clam and the crane, the crane is the bird, when they fight, the fisherman wins, right? The clam and the crane, they fight. That's probably not a very good gesture there. But that's right. We're the fishermen, so we benefit from that. And our government is so smart. They're signing all these trade agreements, the CPTPP, all right, a lot of PP and RCEP. And also they're signing a lot of unilateral trade agreements with different countries. They do that to give Vietnamese businesses a competing edge, make our products cheaper to export to them. So I don't know what you manufacture, but you can look it up. Oftentimes you'll be so surprised. My product export to the US, 0% tariff. Pay no tax. Thank our government. Our government made that happen. So what I'm saying is that Vietnam is the place to be. If you want to make products and export. So that's what our mission is. Our mission is to help Vietnamese businesses export more. That's why we partner with Alibaba.com. So we partnered with Alibaba.com since the 2020. 2020 is also the year of COVID. Must be a very difficult year that year. But actually, because of COVID, manufacturers need more ways to sell internationally. Because in the past, maybe they go to trade shows, maybe they go to Las Vegas. Maybe they go to Las Vegas, attend the CES to find customers. But because of COVID, they cannot do that anymore. So let's go online and do exhibition online. When you're on Alibaba, basically you're showing your products to international buyers 24/7, 365 days a year. And the price you pay is a fraction of what you pay to attend exhibitions. I know because I attend to a lot of exhibitions. We put our booth in Vietnam Expo, Hawa, VFA, Food Expo, Retail Tech, a lot of them. One Alibaba subscription is going to beat all of them if you know how to operate it. You need to know how to operate your Alibaba platform. We can help you with that. So we sign a lot of customers, a lot of them. And I also provide a very special service, a very special, unique service that I sometimes provide in Hanoi. So I go visit our customers and I visit their factories and I bring my fly cam and I fly all over their factories, and inside their factories, inside and outside, and come back inside and just fly everywhere. And that's me right there, right? And I give them the videos. We actually help them build a beautiful video they can put on Alibaba. So international buyers, when they go look at their video, wow, this manufacturer is so good. Let's buy from them. I want to do that for you too. We have a lot of success stories. It's going to take a while to go through this. So our sales director actually understands our customers best. So I would like to invite Nakfu to come up here and tell you about these stories.
Em xin chào tất cả các anh chị doanh nghiệp, các anh chị online cũng như offline. Chắc là để em tiếp nối cái phần của sếp em đang chia sẻ. Thì trên đây là những cái câu chuyện thành công của những cái khách hàng và hiện tại tụi em đang hỗ trợ. Thì như các anh chị đang thấy ở cái slide đầu tiên, đây là của một công ty và họ bán sản phẩm là về lông mi giả. Thì hiện tại thì trong cái ngành hàng về lông mi giả và tóc giả là những ngành hàng mà thực sự bán rất là chạy ở trên Alibaba.com. Thì công ty của chị này là quy mô của họ thì là hiện tại họ ở Đắk Lắk. Và khi mà họ gia nhập ở trên sàn thì hiện tại họ tham gia với tụi em được 2 năm rồi. Và họ liên tục nhận được những cái tin nhắn cũng như là những cái đơn đặt hàng đến từ những thị trường chính như là thị trường Mỹ, Pháp và Úc ạ. Và tiếp theo sau đó cũng là một câu chuyện thành công của một doanh nghiệp cũng là sản phẩm về lông mi giả luôn. Và chị này thì mọi người có thể thấy là trên cái tên ở bên trên đó là tên thông tin của doanh nghiệp này thì họ là một hộ kinh doanh thôi. Có nghĩa là khi mà mình gia nhập tham gia trên Alibaba ấy, thì không phân biệt mình là một hộ kinh doanh nhỏ lẻ hay mình là một công ty. miễn là mình có sản phẩm và mình đang muốn xuất khẩu. Thì khi mà tụi em tiếp cận với hộ kinh doanh của chị ấy thì chị ấy cũng thiết kế gian hàng cũng như những nhà bán khác và bắt đầu là cũng có được những đơn đặt hàng, và con số thực sự nó rất là ấn tượng. Những đơn hàng đầu tiên là 25.000 đô và hiện tại nó gần như là chạm mốc gần lên đến 100.000 đô, là chỉ là xuất khẩu về lông mi giả thôi. Và tiếp theo sau đó là một câu chuyện của một khách hàng bán sản phẩm về ba lô túi xách. Thì công ty của anh chị ấy là ở ngay Hồ Chí Minh luôn, và hiện tại đã đồng hành cùng tụi em được 3 năm rồi. Và cái số lượng đơn hàng giao dịch nó đã lên con số là 1 triệu đô, và có những cái đơn hàng nhỏ thì khách hàng đặt liên tục và không đếm xuể luôn. Thì đây là một cái chia sẻ mà anh trong một lần gặp gần nhất khi mà anh lên công ty văn phòng của tụi em thì anh có chia sẻ. Và tiếp theo sau đấy cũng lại là bên ngành hàng về lông mi luôn ạ. Mình có thể thấy được là cái ngành hàng này thực sự là xuất khẩu rất là mạnh ở Việt Nam của mình. Và theo sau đấy sẽ là nhóm ngành hàng về thời trang. Thì công ty này là ở ngoài Hà Nội, và chỉ trong một thời gian ngắn vừa mới xây xong gian hàng thôi thì bắt đầu là nhận được những cái đơn hàng sample, đơn hàng mẫu từ khách hàng quốc tế chỉ sau 3 tuần sau khi mà thiết kế gian hàng xong. Đây là một khách hàng cũng là ở khu vực phía Bắc. Thì mình có thể thấy đây là sản phẩm của họ khi mà họ bán ở trên sàn là chuyên về máy bơm. Và họ đã đi được trong cái quá trình khi mà họ tham gia thì họ đã xuất được một công hàng đi ra thị trường nước ngoài. Mình sẽ quay lại một xíu. Đây là một công ty, sản phẩm chính của họ là về thời trang may mặc, và hiện tại họ đã tái ký với tụi em chính xác là năm thứ 3 rồi. Và đơn hàng của họ thì hiện tại là đang gọi là khách hàng, giá trị đơn hàng là lên đến 10.000 đô. Nhưng mà hiện tại thì bên em đang hỗ trợ cho họ xuất một đơn hàng cho một khách hàng bên thị trường Ấn, và đang trong quá trình thương lượng đàm phán và đến cái bước là gửi báo giá cũng như là làm những cái thông tin như là về logistics hay là hợp đồng rồi. Lại là một câu chuyện của một công ty về ngành hàng về thời trang. Thì chị này sẽ chuyên về thời trang dành cho em bé. Và mình có thể thấy ở trên lại là một hộ kinh doanh, nhưng mà họ liên tục nhận được những cái đơn đặt hàng cũng như là nhận được rất là nhiều những cái đơn hàng từ khách hàng quốc tế liên tục luôn ạ. Và tiếp theo sau đó thì không thể thiếu đó chính là ngành hàng nông sản, bởi vì đây là một cái ngành hàng lợi thế của Việt Nam mình khi mà mình xuất khẩu, đúng không ạ? Thì doanh nghiệp này tụi em đã đồng hành được tính đến thời điểm hiện tại là 3 năm, con số bên kia chưa có sửa lại một xíu. Thì họ chuyên về những dòng sản phẩm như là rau củ quả sấy lạnh này, hay là trái cây mà sấy khô. Thì họ đã đi được những cái đơn hàng ví dụ như là container theo 20 feet và xuất được đơn hàng chủ yếu là đi qua thị trường Hàn Quốc. Và tiếp theo đây là một chân dung của một câu chuyện của một khách hàng bên em là bên ngành hàng về nội thất. Thì hiện tại họ cũng đã tái ký với tụi em năm thứ 2 và liên tục nhận được những cái đơn đặt hàng của những khách hàng quốc tế. Thì sơ bộ trên này là những cái câu chuyện thành công của những khách hàng bên của tụi em, nhưng mà thực ra là còn rất nhiều những câu chuyện khác nữa. Nhưng mà trong cái khuôn khổ ngày hôm nay thì em chia sẻ với các anh chị để mình có thể thấy được là tiềm năng của Việt Nam mình trong câu chuyện xuất khẩu, mình có đầy đủ lợi thế ở rất là nhiều nhóm ngành hàng. Thì em chắc là sẽ chuyển tiếp cho sếp của bên em.
Okay, thank you Ngọc Vũ.
Rồi, cảm ơn chị Ngọc Vũ ạ.
So a lot of customers benefit from their Alibaba subscription. They find more customers through Alibaba. But we realize we can do even more than that. So this year we launched sourcevietnam.com, and this is from our company. And we want to find the best Vietnamese products, the highest quality Vietnamese products we want to put on this platform, and we're going to attract international buyers to come to this platform and buy Vietnamese products. This is the first platform of its kind in Vietnam. And I don't know how many vendors we have, but I think around 200. And to join this platform, it's invitation only. You cannot buy to get in. You gotta be highest quality. We need to certify you. So right now, the only two way is if you're an Alibaba customer or you are government sponsor. We work with government. And in 2024 April, we'll run a big campaign. We'll run about 10T in marketing budget to attract international buyer to this platform. So it's a good idea to get in now. Ms. Nok will share more about this. Okay, so what I'm saying is that the future is very bright. Okay, the time is now, and the people in the room, you're gonna do it. You're gonna help us change the trade balance. Maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years. When we look at that graph, we're gonna see big bubbles, big circles on the export side. Let's make that happen together. Thank you very much.
Mình sẽ cùng biến ra thành hiện thực. Cảm ơn mọi người ạ.